Oh, ooh. How are you doing
Ooh,
today, Chadley? Welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. This is a new year, new pod.
this is gonna be the
Um,
first. This is gonna be the first episode of this podcast that will actually sound like a legitimate podcast because we now
oh,
both have mics.
did you accidentally get a mic, Chadley? That's
Shit, yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. My mother-in-law bought me one. Guess she was tired of hearing shitty pod.
Yeah, I guess I guess. So we've got quite a packed episode for you today. Um,
Yeah, it's the first. It's the first episode of 2017.
we're starting it off with a bang. Let's do some housekeeping right off the top. If I've heard the complaints. You wanted a dedicated Movie Epidemic podcast feed on iTunes and the other places. It's there now. Just search Movie Epidemic every episode. So that's the
So
update for
like
that.
it's not like bogged down with like old episodes of Nerdcore Meow and shit like that.
That's correct. It's its own feed. The Punch Nerds feed, of course, will still be there. If you prefer that, I don't know why you would, but
Will the movie epidemic still go on the Punch Nerds feed?
that is correct. It will still update. But if you want to move to the new fresh feed, that's also an option. And of course, we'll always be live on YouTube. That's where we make most of our money anyway. So go watch it on
God bless.
YouTube if you want.
That's how we stay alive. It's why I pay $800 a month for an apartment because y'all ain't fucking watching YouTube enough.
Get on that YouTube red, bitches.
Yeah, come on. Need the money.
So what do we got? What do we got movie wise on the dock for today, Chadley?
Well, movie wise, so much shit. Of course, it is the first week of 2017, so we are going to be starting off with our 2017 death pool picks. We've actually got a couple of other people who've sent in some picks. Our good friend Lauxie, who we've talked about, and my brother Mark Hardner may get in on it at a later date. We'll discuss that in a few minutes and what the possibilities of that would be. We're also going to be talking about this is the one you guys have been waiting for. We've been screaming about it, watching the trailers, being like, that looks pretty good. It's Star Wars Rogue One. We'll talk a little bit about
Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Please get the title correct.
I'm sorry, the movie is called Rogue One, a Star Wars story, apparently. Then we're going to be doing our bottom 10 of the year. Last year and the year before, we only did bottom 5, but this year, couldn't fit them all on a bottom 5. There was
it's extra bad this year.
too many fucking... And there was a lot that I omitted from my list. We'll get to it, though. We'll fucking get to it. So we'll be doing the bottom 10 of the year. Then we're going to be continuing on. We're doing the second last Living Dead movie, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. I'm actually kind of excited to be kind of done with this one. I think. I mean, they're fun, but like, I think I've had enough of zombie movies. They're hard to eat too. I think I've mentioned that before. It's hard to eat while you're watching a zombie movie because shit's gross.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to be talking about the new film from our good friend Anton Fuqua. It's called Magnificent Seven, starring my boy DW.
That man has a handle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anton Fuqua. I like that he didn't change it. I guarantee you some publicist told him to change it and he was like, nah, fuck it. No, who gives a shit? It's Anton Fuqua.
Absolutely.
So that is the show. Wow. That's gonna be a packed show. I mean, this is our first one since Christmas. The last episode we did was our fucking Jesus episode. So
yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah,
well, I do have
absolutely.
a request. Because in that time, a lot of celebrities died, and people like to hear you sing. So you want to do some George Michael, Chadley?
Yeah. I like where this is going. Hold on, let me pull up. This is on the fly. I did not know that this was coming.
No, I'm completely springing you on this right now. Absolutely.
Hold on.
In the last couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of celebrities go. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. We'll talk about that in a minute once we get to Star Wars. Your boy George Michael of Wham fame.
Dude, I love George Michael, but I do have the lyrics to the song that I wish to sing. Ready on my phone. Are you ready to go?
Absolutely.
You put the boom boom into my heart. You set my soul sky high when your loving starts. The jitterbug into my brain. It goes bang, bang, bang till my feet do the same. But something's bugging you, something ain't right. My best friend told me what you did last night, left me sleeping in my bed. I was dreaming, but it should have been with you instead. Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging like a lion yo-yo. Wake me up before you go. Don't want to miss it when you hit that high. Wake me up before you go, cause I'm not planning on going solo. Wake me up before you go, and take me dancing tonight. So that's a little bit of George Michael for you.
A fantastic a cappella cover. We all love that. I know the viewers like when you sing, so that's a new segment I've introduced.
Apparently people really fucking like it when I sing. So it is preposterous, absolutely preposterous. But Buck LeDuc, you were up in LA. You were up in LA for Christmas. Why don't you give us a little update on everything that took place when you were up there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that we can't say about some of the Disney deals, but like we can say that it's.
I was down at the Disney offices, and they gave me this nice hat. See this hat?
Ooh, shit! It's got Kylo Ren on it.
It's a Kylo Ren hat. Guess I could wear that for you. This is we've been in talks with Disney. We're not going to get into that too much. I went down to LA for Christmas. Saw some Laker Clippers on Christmas Day. Great game.
Was it on Christmas Day you saw the Lakers game?
That is correct. Yes.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
December 25th, Lakers Clippers. Christmas gift to myself, and yeah, it was a good time. And I guess tumor update, because I've since been to the doctor since our last podcast, and I probably won't die. I have a large tumor covered by a nasal cyst. So first I have to get the cyst removed, and then the tumor can be removed. So I have a long wait for surgery, and I will probably be fine. Unfortunately, I was really hoping death.
I'm still gonna throw you on my death pool because you never know, right?
Good call. That's probably a good call. But I might just off myself. Horse.
Yeah.
Because I believe there is a 10-point bonus for Kurt Cobain yourself. So
is there a 10-point bonus for suicide?
The 10-point Kurt Cobain bonus. This is going to be a ghoulish episode. I know some people adore the death pool. Some people can't stand it. It's a big part of who we are as people, Chadley. I think death awaits us all. And
absolutely. And like, here's the thing is that people are like, oh, 2016 was so savage. And it's like, yeah, but like just as many celebrities died the year previous, really.
Absolutely. I mean, and just as many will die this year, hopefully, in one of our favors, Chadley. As you know, last year, I won the celebrity death pool.
23-6.
By a fairly good margin. I had a couple good picks in there. One good pick. And that means draft style, I will be starting off the celebrity to death pool. So should we get into that now, Chadley?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll explain how this is going to work as well. Buck LeDuc over there, he has the picks. He has 10 picks that he was given by Lauxie, who is basically, if any of his picks get taken by anybody else, they just go to the next one, and we all get 5 picks. I got 10 picks for my brother as well. They're all really fucking dumb picks, so get ready for that. My brother's kind of a dumb dude, but he's got some dumb picks. But some of them are probably people that will die. That's all right. You know, I got some dumb picks from year to year as well. So Buck LeDuc's going to go first. Then it's going to be myself. Then he's going to read off the first one on Lauxie's list, and then I'll read off the first one on Mark's list. Rinse and repeat. All right.
So as I mentioned before, Zach did not give us an entire list, so he will be playing as Wild Horse rules. So if he gives me something later that has already been picked, he will forfeit that spot. So
okay. So I'm really hoping you don't pick the person that I wish to pick for my first round pick.
Well, here we go. For my first round pick, I'm going to have to go with God's #1 seed, my tumor brother, Gord Downey.
God fucking damn it. Son of a bitch.
Tragically hip. God's #1 seed, rest in peace, my brother. 48 points for me. So you're going to have a lot of work. You're going to have a lot of work this year, Chadley.
That was my first pick, and I was like, please don't take Gord Downey.
That's everyone's first pick. It is the tragically hip, God's number one pick.
All right, so for my first pick, I'm gonna go with somebody's been on the front runner of my death pool list for the past decade. Somehow escapes death every year. It's fucking good old Robert the Bob Barker.
Bob Barker. Going into my notes. I'm taking notes this year, Chadley.
Yeah, I'm also taking notes over here.
So Zach Lauxey's first pick will be Keith Richards.
Keith Richards. That's
what Rolling Stones, I believe.
That's a good. He's done a lot of drugs, right? So
yeah, and he's quite old, and he looks even older. So that's probably a good pick.
All right, so my good friend my good brother Mark's first pick. This is actually a pretty good pick. He's taken Harrison Ford. Ford. That was one that was on my death pool picks last year. This year, it is on Mark's. Harrison Ford.
For my second pick, recently hospitalized, so we're looking good. Charles Manson.
Charles Manson of murder fame.
Yep. He did spend a lot of time in the media. So
my second pick is somebody that I really hope dies soon because I cannot stand any more of this man. This is Clint Eastwood.
Okay, that's a very good pick because he's decrepit.
He's cracking apart. All right, who we got for Lauxey?
Another musician of Black Flag fame, Mr. Henry Rollins.
Don't know who that is.
As far as I know, he's in good health, so that's an interesting pick. But you never know. A lot of drug abuse.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the route I would have taken. Did Lauxey send you a dark horse pick or nah?
Not yet.
No. Okay. So Mark, his second pick of the year, again, another pretty good one. Maggie Smith. Maggie Smith of Harry Potter fame. She got cancer a few years back and she lived it. So why he put her on the list, I don't know. I don't know if I would have done the same thing.
See, these are good picks. I tend to go for a more point strategy where, like, because old people, they're going to die, Chadley, but they're not.
Well, Gord Downey, that's 50, that's like 40 whatever free points right there. You're gonna win because you got Gord Downey.
Absolutely. My third pick has had health scares in the past, out of popular media in the recent years. I'm gonna go with Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Ooh, I would love for him to be done. I would love to not see him in stuff.
One of those hole, you get when you get the hole in your throat. What is that called?
Yeah,
tracheotomy or whatever.
Yeah, tracheotomy. Yeah, it's when you smoke too much, right? So the man, he must be a smoker. I'm taking a lot of these are just like people that like I just don't want to see in stuff anymore. So so my third pick is William Shatner. Shatner.
I think Shatner will probably not die, as far as I can tell. He's I don't know, soaked. Dude. He's soaked in liquor and is preserved forever. So,
it stopped his heart, and he keeps going.
So we'll move on directly to Mark, as Zach's picks will no longer be valid. So,
he's done? That's it?
Well, he'll get a chance to redeem himself, but until now, so far he's got Keith Richards and Henry Rollins.
So Mark clearly isn't going for the points on this because he picked Jerry Lewis.
That's guaranteed points though. So
yeah, it's guaranteed points, but it's like my Abe Vigoda last year, right? Like that was guaranteed points, but I still lost by a lot because I took Abe Vigoda. I guess it would be your turn now.
It's my turn. I will go with a man who I respect deeply, but is quite old, Mr. Stan Lee.
Mr. Stan Lee, yeah. You know what? I very heavily debated throwing Stan Lee on here. But my next pick is going to be somebody, once again, hope this guy dies this year. I imagine the stress of everything that's going on in his life is gonna take him this year. That is Mr. Bill Cosby. Cosby.
Yeah, we all hope Bill Cosby dies, so that would be fine. Hell
yeah. And then Mark's next pick would be This one's a weird one. This one's sort of like a dark horse pick, but I get it. Dan Castellaneta.
Okay, sure.
Dan Castellaneta, Homer Simpson. If Dan Castellaneta died this year, though, there would be no more Simpsons. So God bless Mark for picking that. All right, so your last pick before your dark horse pick. Who are you going with?
I've debated many times. I'm a fan of taking Stephen Hawking's this year. He got beat out by one man who I think will take him because of the recent sale of the Playboy Mansion, Mr. Hugh Hefner.
Mr. Hugh Hefner. That's actually a good one. He's fucking old as hell. Now I'm taking a look at the rest of mine, and like, there's some that I want to take and some that I don't. But I think I'm just gonna go with who's up there at the top there, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne.
Ooh, Mr. There you Ozzy
go. Osbourne. There's a lot of people.
That is a good strategy to make Zach miss some spots, because that is one that I would assume he would take.
Absolutely. And then Mark's final pick is going to be George H.W. Bush. George H.W. Bush. Now we got some. Now, as always, we do get 5 picks, which we're all done now. We're all done our 5 picks, but then we get one dark horse pick. And so, who is going to be Buckley Duke's dark horse pick?
Ooh, I love a nice dark horse, and I'm gonna have to go with Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Was that your dark horse last year?
It was not. It was Taylor Swift.
Oh no, last year it was Kesha. It was Kesha.
Oh, you're right. It was Kesha.
My dark horse pick. This is a man who is very young, but like I feel like he does all the drugs, so he's gonna fuck himself up real bad this year. Shia LaBeouf.
Ooh, the beef. Hell yeah.
Shia LaBeouf. And then Mark's dark horse pick. This one, he actually gave me a reason to why he picked this one, and it actually makes sense. Bo Burnham.
Okay.
And the reason he picked Bo Burnham is if you've seen any of his comedy specials, it's pretty apparent that dude's for sure going to kill himself.
Absolutely. Well, as for my Lady Gaga pick, she recently put out an essay about her depression and her post-traumatic stress disorder. So that's always a red flag, and that's what we're looking for here on Red Flag Movie Epidemic.
Lady Gaga is like one of those people too who's like, she's gonna realize soon that her music isn't as artistic as it once was, and it's being over, like it's like just feeding into capitalism, and she's gonna be like, I gotta end this.
Sure, absolutely. So that's a celebrity death pool for 2017. I'll get a
little grim.
I'll get a page up on Punch Nerds for that, so that we can keep track of it. And that's that. So why don't we get into some movies here, Chadley?
Yeah, let's actually talk about one. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So this movie came out to rave reviews, basically saying this is now one of the best Star Wars films of all time, and it's not.
Oh, okay.
So
Chadley didn't like.
Straight up, it's no, it's not that I didn't like it. Okay, I want to be as constructive as I possibly can. I just think that it's so mediocre. Like, it is so wildly mediocre, unless we count the visuals. But we've spoke about this before. We're in a time when visuals don't cut it anymore. Like, yeah, you got amazing visuals, but so does fucking every other movie. So did Ninja Turtles. Like, you really have to bring...
I think Ninja Turtles was a little worse, Chadley.
Honestly, I think between the two of them, I would rather go back and watch Ninja Turtles 2 than rewatch Rogue One. I probably will rewatch Rogue One many times in my life because it's a Star Wars movie, and I've seen Attack of the Clones like 6 times. All right, like that's how dedicated I am to this franchise.
Sure. No, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I think I would say the last hour is better than all of Episode 7.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you, but I will say that the last hour is when the movie does get really good.
It is not a perfect movie, like a lot of people have touted it, but I also don't think any Star Wars movies are perfect. But I do think it is I think it is a great film, and I think it's very different than Star Wars.
I agree. It seems bizarre to me to take like basically what Star Wars is it's like a sci-fi war movie that's silly enough that it makes it a lot of fun. But in this one, they're like, we're going to take all this silliness out and just make it a sci-fi war movie. And it's like, yeah, but I've seen that. Like I could watch Dune and get the same shit out of Dune as I got from Rogue One, or like I'm
gonna have to disagree with you completely on that. Dune is a masterpiece in its own right, but not because it's a sci-fi war movie, because it's a fucking fluff piece of insanity.
Yeah, well, no, I do love Dune. Like that. My point is just like this type of movie is not new and interesting, and it doesn't really belong anywhere. Here's what this movie did for me is I've never had a prequel that has made me appreciate that movie it's the prequel to, like this movie. I
know what you're gonna. You think it's like offensive or whatever. I think filling in the gaps perfectly is completely fine, because he's working off George Lucas's bullshit. It's all bullshit, and they're trying to fill in the gaps so it makes sense.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, are we saying spoilers, or has it been long enough, or like?
Yes, it's been long enough.
Okay, so like, they tried to buy back the fact that there's an open vent in the Death Star, and they're like, why would anybody miss that? And it's like, in this movie, it wasn't missed. It was put there intentionally, as a means to destroy the station. All right, that's fine.
Okay, so you don't like that. That is literally why I like Star Wars now. It's because it's humanized war better than anything else in any of these movies.
I do agree, but here's my problem, okay? Because I knew from the get-go that Rogue One was not going to add anything to the Star Wars mythos, because it's basically they took the opening crawl of episode 4 and was like, yeah, we can make that into a full fucking movie. And I've always thought, like, I don't know if that's necessary, but let's see what they do with it. Now, because
I also don't think it's necessary, but I think it's well made enough that it's fine now.
I think it's fine. I think there's enough entertainment value to get you through 2 hours and 15 minutes. I just don't think it's like better than Episode 7 or better than any other Star Wars except for Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, because those movies are fucking bullshit. But like, I just think that, like, maybe it was the hype that killed it, because everyone was like, this movie's fucking amazing. This movie is amazing and you're going to love it. And I went to it and I was like, all right, if it wasn't for a gay robot, I might have walked out, you know?
So there is a lot of things that I like how it was done. It's to me, I think they captured space better than any other Star Wars movies previously. Just above and below the shots, screen, like if you look at this movie visually, I think they captured space maybe better than most movies that take place in space, because in Star Wars, you have what's in front of you and above generally. This, I was blown away by below space.
Yeah, below space and around, yeah. Like I said, the visuals in this movie are outstanding, and it's what makes this movie good. It is what makes this movie good. This is why I gave this movie 2.5 stars, and if it wasn't for the visuals,
which is obviously too low, Chadley. You don't think this is at least a 3-star movie? You're an insane person, Chadley.
Maybe it's a 3-star film. Like without those visuals being as good as they were, it would be a lot less. Here's the thing, though, is that because this is no new information, instead of making a movie that furthered the plot like other Star Wars movies do, they had to write a character piece, which blows, because let me tell you, if there's one thing that Star Wars is bad at doing, it's writing good characters, and this movie had fucking none of them. The problem with that is that they wrote
Ben Mendelsohn's character.
Yeah, they wrote all these uninteresting characters and then got fucking AAA amazing actors to play them all. They're like, all right, throw Felicity Jones in there. All right, we got fucking Ben Mendelsohn, who is amazing. I
would say his character is actually great, though. Just
Yeah,
the way everything, well, especially because Ben Mendelsohn delivers everything like it's literally he will die if he doesn't deliver his lines. I think Ben Mendelsohn is easily the highlight of this film and maybe one of the
Absolutely,
greatest
I agree.
actors to ever live.
I agree.
I would say Mads Mikkelsen, completely wasted.
Total. What a total waste. Fucking
I would
Forrest
say
Whitaker. What a
more
fucking
wasted
waste.
for sure.
What a
You know what I
waste.
like? You know, I appreciate Forrest Whitaker, how everyone is acting like this movie's completely serious, and he's just like fucking dancing around and shit. And no one's like, "Hey, could you play this a little more seriously?" He's like, "Nah, man, this is Star Wars. I'm playing it like I'm a minute." One thing I do appreciate that I think this movie again did better than Star Wars Episode 7 is aliens. I think the aliens in this movie far outweigh anything we've seen in the last 25 years of Star Wars. Red, there are aliens in this movie that we've never seen before. That's what I have questions, Chadley. I'm like, what is that little guy with the fucking eyes? What is he? What type of alien is that? These are the questions that Star Wars, the originals, that I've always enjoyed, was the diverse aliens. And then you come to fucking Star Wars 7 and it's like, no fucking aliens. Except for fucking Simon Pegg in a fucking portion suit. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I can't believe that was Simon Pegg. But here's the thing. I wanna talk about my two biggest problems with this movie because I have to get them out of the way. Number one, the octopus monster.
Oh, you don't like the octopus monster?
No, I didn't, Colby. And here's why I didn't like the fucking octopus monster, all right? Because basically they're like, this octopus monster is a lie detector. It will know if you are lying when it puts its tentacles on your face. The only the only repercussion is that it causes you to go mad. And it's like, all right, pretty neat. This pilot guy is gonna go mad now. And then like in the next scene, he's like, and then somebody is like, hey, you're the pilot, right? And he goes, oh yeah, I am the pilot. Memory restored. It's all good. It's all good. You're right. That is who I am. Good call. Like,
for sure, the characters are weak, and I don't know if this is because it's plagued by reshoots. I don't know. I forgot
there was reshoots in this.
I feel like they also jump around too much, which is one of my big problems with the movie. Which I guess is fine since it's a fucking heist movie essentially. But heist, Chappie no heist.
Chappie no heist.
I feel like it's not very well written for sure.
No, I totally agree.
And then the characters aren't, generally all that interesting. But
except for Ben Mendelsohn.
I do like though that basically Quentin Tarantino could have looked at this movie and he would have been like, a little too much character death, I think. Maybe reel it back a bit. Because there's like fucking like what, like even once you get into the rebels, like one thing I do like though is that that Mads Mikkelsen's character was killed by the good guys. I think that's something that that really adds maybe
depth. Yeah.
Exclusively the only depth in this film. But
I agree. I'll agree with that.
But I did like a lot of what I liked a lot of what was happening. I don't know if again, it's not a necessary film. I agree with you on that. I think it's better than you're giving it credit for, though.
It was a lot of things that I saw coming, and in a movie like that where you see everything coming, you have to have good characters. If the movie's predictable, you have to have good characters, especially if you've already told me the plot of your film in a film that is necessary to see this film. Like if you never watched A New Hope, this movie would be not very good. It would be less predictable, but it wouldn't be very good.
See, to me, well, I want to talk about the last hour because to me, that wipes out any discrepancies in the first half.
Basically, once they start heisting, it's really fun.
It is so good. Seraph, dude. I love Seraph because it's an island planet. It's a tropical planet where they have basically just a giant computer. And so all the nerds that work there get like a little vacation little vacation planet. Real nice, real nice pick for the Empire. I like that. Why don't we talk about the Grand Moff Tarkin CGI a little bit?
Yeah, all right. We got Grand Moff Tarkin CGI. So Peter Cushing died 22 years ago, and basically they wanted to put him in this movie, so they completely CGI'd him.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty fucking good.
Looks
doesn't look
bad.
perfect. Doesn't look perfect, but it looks pretty fucking good.
Like terribly, but it's also not great.
Yeah, no, you could tell. Like he looked like the BFG, really.
I do like I like that they're showing this technology. This is basically just they're showing it off.
And they use this technology twice in this film.
Yes, they didn't need to. That was the thing. Like you could have just had his reflection, and you would have been like, "Oh, that's beautiful, perfect." But no, they're like, "We're gonna show him full in light." And like for me, one of the main problems though, like his face was pretty good, but his body looked a little weird. It looked video gamey, the way his body moved, and I think that's just mocap in general.
Well, like a lot of what I've read on the internet is people are like, it's disrespectful to put Peter Cushing in there, and it's like, bitch, he would have loved this.
I'm gonna have to disagree. It's a character that I mean, it's fine that he's in it, I guess.
Yeah, Peter Cushing didn't create the character,
Yeah, and
it looks like him.
I mean, they didn't do it in a disrespectful manner. It was done respectfully, and as far as I know, the Peter Cushing, his estate granted them to do it. So,
I mean, and
I'm
you
sure
know what?
they're getting money from it.
I think for what it is, it looks all right. It doesn't. I agree that maybe it doesn't need to be there. Maybe just the reflection. But here's one thing that I want to talk about, and this is the thing that everybody was looking forward to the most in Rogue One, and that is our good big bad buddy Darth Vader. Darth Vader's in this movie. Fucking Darth Vader is back, baby.
Oh.
All right, where do we start on this? So I think I know Disney has a lot of money, so I know they didn't run out of money, but I think they might have ran out of time and quickly bought a Spirit Halloween Darth Vader costume because holy shit,
like the costume, hey?
Holy fuck, dude! It looks so bad. It looks like it barely looks like there's a dude in there. Honestly, like it
looks like have in Disneyland they have like the Star Tours ride where they have a Robotronic Darth Vader out front. It kind of looked like that. I did like all of his lines, like all the writing for him, perfect. But
yeah, it's all good. I've heard a lot of people getting mad that Darth Vader was making jokes, and I was like, come on, man, that's so good. Fucking Darth Vader making jokes is so good.
Another thing I really liked about this movie is fucking Star Wars is 80s and 70s as fuck, especially in the aesthetics. Like, so
yeah, they did a good job replicating that. I agree.
Whenever they're in like a spaceship or whatever, it's all like looks 80s as fuck, and I appreciate that. Let's keep the technology consistent here. Episodes 1 through fucking 3, sons of bitches.
Yeah, why was the technology better when it was in the past, George Lucas? You dumb shit.
You dumb fuck. Let's keep this shit consistent.
Fuck's a Gungan. Get out of here with this shit.
If I see one more fucking Gungan, I'm gonna fucking shoot up a theater.
Here's the thing, is that at this point, I think Disney is just sort of writing off Gungans. There's no way that they will ever put a Gungan in a fucking Star Wars movie.
Yeah, they'll probably write like a canon book where the entire Gungan planet got destroyed by the Death Star or some shit.
Until you and I pen the Jar Jar Binks prequel. Oh shit, what's it supposed to be?
Don't worry about all that. But
don't worry about all that. That being said, we're allowed to do spoilers, right?
Mm-hmm.
As much as I was just kind of like lukewarm about the whole experience, the last 3 minutes of this movie is fucking amazing.
Oh, it's better than episode 7.
Yeah, the last 3 minutes is better than episode 7 in its entirety.
That is a crazy thing to do, though. End your movie on the best thing you've got. I mean, it is a strategy. Yeah, but it is a crazy strategy, and I liked it.
Well, like the thing is like with a movie like this, it's just good enough that I don't think anybody's gonna walk out of the theater. So like you can do that in this instance. I think if you were gonna save your best 3 minutes for the final, I don't know, for say the final minutes of Assassin's Creed, yeah, maybe don't do that because everybody's left at that point. You know,
Oh, I can't wait. We are doing a commentary on Assassin's Creed. We have to.
Got to do it.
We have to,
We gotta
dude.
do it.
It's one of the most insane. It's one of the most nutty fucking productions I've ever seen out of Hollywood.
Yeah, I have a friend coming up to see me next week, and he wants to go see Assassin's Creed the movie.
Okay,
and
we're talking about it next week then.
Fuck yeah, we're talking about Assassin's Creed the movie. Yeah. But Rogue One, like it has a lot of merits, but I feel like there's just too many demerits.
The biggest problem is all the characters. The reason I've not discussed any of them is because I don't remember their names, and I think that's probably an issue, right?
Jin Erso was the name of the main girl.
I know Jin. No Jin, of course. But what's the fucking the pilot and the captain? The fucking I don't know. I know KOS.
You know, I barely knew what they were when I was sitting there in the theater. You know.
Yeah, well, like I like the diversity. Sure, cool. Make their names like something I know. Like,
oh man, you know what really bothered me about this movie? Hey, why the fuck was Organa just like kind of there sometimes and he didn't do anything? Why would you fucking get the guy who plays Organa, just have him sit there during meetings and not say anything?
A lot of that stuff was recut. Because if you watch the trailers, there's a lot more in those meetings that happen than in the actual movie.
Why the fuck would they take that out? I want to know why Organa was sitting there. I get it, because he's in the Rebel Alliance, but have him say some shit. Fuck, have him in the movie, dude.
Yeah, if you're gonna give fucking C-3PO and fucking R2-D2 a cameo.
Holy shit, dude! I was livid when that happened. They're like, "Where's everybody going?" And I'm like, "Fuck you."
They're the Stan Lee of the Disney. They're going to be in every single one. For sure.
Were they? Yeah, no, they were in Force Awakens. I was going to say, were they? Of course they were fucking in Force Awakens. They were important in that one. But, hey, you know what still bothers me about Force Awakens? Why has he got a fucking red arm, huh? Why has he got a fucking red arm? Why does that happen? And he mentions it, too. He's like, look, I've got a red arm.
There's a lot about Force Awakens that doesn't make a lot of sense, but, you know.
But Force Awakens is fun I think there's fun here. I think there is lots of fun in Rogue One. Not as much though.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that might come down to what they were trying to do with it. I don't know if it I think it was successful, and I'm glad they're making them. I'm
absolutely. I am excited to see what more they do with the Star Wars universe and the prequels.
I mean, Star Wars, it's for the kids now, Chadley. It's not for us anymore.
This isn't really a kids movie. Like this is really grim. Like this one's really grim.
Every single person dies in this movie. Yo, one of my favorite parts is when they're like doing that awesome space battle, and like all those fucking rebel guys die. Even the ones that are like built up to be important, they die in 5 seconds. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean. Dude, but here's what I like.
Space destroyer hits another space destroyer. You're telling me that didn't move your boner at all, Chadley? You're just sitting there in despair. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. That's some of the best shit I've ever seen in Star Wars.
Like I said, the visuals and the action sequence, like that final action sequence, is really fun and really cool. What I did like about this movie is that it proved to me that Disney does in fact have the balls to kill off some of their characters. So why don't we take that? And why don't we throw that onto the Marvel franchise? Let's take that idea and fucking put it onto the Marvel franchise. Like, gotta start killing people in that, or else there's gonna be 5,000 Avengers to every one villain.
I can't watch any more Marvel movies. I don't think I can.
I haven't even seen Doctor Strange because, like, I just know I'm not gonna like it. Everyone's like, it's so good. I'm like, no, I'm telling you right now, I'll fucking hate it.
I've heard from Jordan the Dr. Hardner. It's about as cool as Avatar, like visually,
oh.
And there's literally no plot.
Oh God, that's terrible news. That's terrible news. Somebody told me that they're like, yeah, they really show off that visual style of, like, you know how in Inception they twist the city. Apparently they do that like a million times in Doctor Strange. Really showing it off. Jesus Christ. I can't do any more Marvel. I could do Star Wars though. After this, I think I can keep doing Star Wars.
Absolutely. I'm not tired of it yet, and I thought I was going to be tired of it. I'm not. I like it. Every time I like it.
Here's why. Because, like, even though it is yearly, it's only yearly, you know? Like, it's not fucking 4 times a year we get one of these movies, you know? As soon as they start shoving it down my throat like that, that's when I'm going to go, you know what? I think I'm out. I think I might be out.
Yeah. I am interested on, like, for them to do something outside, like, the Star Wars universe. It's a universe, Chadley. Why do we have to keep focusing on the same thing?
On the same events, yeah.
Can we not move away from the Death Star stuff? I got it. I'm good now. I'm literally good now. I know the Death Star inside and out. Give me something a little more. Dude, if fucking in this Han Solo movie, if it's shit that I already know about Han Solo, I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
Yes, exactly. And that's my problem with Rogue One, right? Is that it is just shit I already knew about, told in a semi-interesting way. Yeah. But hopefully Disney realizes that when they kill people, it pays off. You know, people like this movie. People really fucking like this movie. So, goddamn, fucking just start killing people, Disney. Fuck it.
We love death. We love it.
That's why we did the death pool.
It gives us value. It gives us value on human entertainment.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the world's most dangerous game, baby.
Yeah, fuck it. All right, so Rogue One was a decent movie. I liked it.
I liked it a lot. I don't think it's bad
though. But
I think it's in the top 5 though.
Top 5 of the year?
No, of the Star Wars movies.
Let me think. Would I put this in my top 5? No, I'd say this is like 6. I'd say I like Revenge of the Sith better than I like this.
Okay.
Straight up.
You're allowed to have that opinion.
Straight up. That being said, this movie wasn't a bad movie, but 2016 had a lot of bad movies. Really, really bad movies. So much so that we had to go from doing a top 5 to a top 10 worst movies of 2016.
And trust me when I say, couldn't even fit most of the ones I wanted to put on there.
Holy shit, dude. There's so many other. We are going to do honorable mentions after, because there's a lot of movies that I didn't fit on here.
Uh-huh.
Let's start off. My number 10 worst film of 2016. This was an early one that maybe a lot of you forgot about it because it's so goddamn forgettable. But you know who doesn't forget? Chadley doesn't forget. This is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Okay.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
See, I agree that that's a bad movie, but in the spectrum of 2016, I think that barely sniffs the bottom 25 in my opinion. It's bad, sure, but at least it's entertaining. I would say there was at least 40 movies this year that had zero entertainment value.
You know what? I'm gonna take a while. I'm gonna throw this right in the hat. I found this movie real fucking boring, not entertaining at all, because it's just as boring as Pride and Prejudice, which is preposterous because that movie is real boring as well.
I think in the classic literature with monsters added, fine. I think it's absolutely fine.
We talked about it before, but it's a fucking impulse buy goddamn chapters. It's up there at the front counter trying to trick you into thinking it's content.
It's fucking fan fiction. My number 10.
A lot of the movies on my list. Sorry, a lot of the movies on my list are movies we actually didn't even talk about. So I'm excited to get to some of these.
Yeah, a lot of mine are too, but my number 10 is one we did talk about. I hate to see Tom Hanks on the list, but Inferno is just so completely unwatchable.
Holy shit, yeah.
it's not even a movie, really.
Yeah, the lowest stakes I've ever seen in a film with such high stakes, which makes no sense, but check out Inferno, you'll get it.
Yeah, you might like it.
he fucking moseys. He moseys to save the world. Moseys. Inferno.
He's doing a slow jog to save the world from Satan.
From Satan. My number 9. There was a lot of really bad comedies this year. This was a really bad year. At least they were trying to write jokes, though. Last year, they weren't writing jokes in comedies. This year, they were trying to write jokes. They just weren't very good. How would you like a joke about Robert De Niro being old as hell trying to fuck Aubrey Plaza? Because that's all that happens in Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah, Dirty Grandpa for sure.
Dirty Grandpa, number 9.
That's definitely my top 20.
I hope we have completely different top tens. I hope they're completely different.
Now, my number 9. This one, most people wouldn't have heard of, but it's an Oscar Isaac, Mark Wahlberg, and Walton Goggins film.
I love Walton Goggins.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I watched it. This is from A24. You know, they've put out a lot of good movies this year.
I love A24. Ex Machina they did last year, and
Green Room, and we've talked a lot about their stuff. But a lot of people hold A24 in very high standards, as they are the standards of independence. But they also produce a lot of very shitty movies. This is a movie called Mojave.
Mojave. I've heard of this. I've never seen it.
It might be one of the worst things ever made. It's basically just fucking. It seems like something that Max Landis wrote under a fucking like
a moniker.
Yeah, because it's like just as stupid as something Max Landis would write. It's like about a guy losing his mind in the desert, and fucking Oscar Isaac just says, "Brother, what's up, brother? He fucking sounds like Hulk Hogan. It's completely unwatchable. And
I was talking to someone yesterday about what would happen if Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage were in a room together, just shouting "brother" at each other. brother.
Yeah, Mojave fucking sucks. It blows dicks. I saw it early in the year. I'm like, this might be good. I love Oscar Isaac. Mark Wahlberg does like a cameo in it. Obviously, they got him for like half a day because he's top billed, but he's in it for maybe 2 minutes.
My number 8. This was a movie that we already discussed at great length. On our last podcast, actually. A little bit of a Jesus movie. This is God's Not Dead 2, the most illogical film in cinema this year. Trying to make points that make no fucking sense at all.
Absolutely.
Trying to get you to turn against atheism, but it maybe made me more of an atheist.
That's very possible. My number 8, we'll be talking about it next week. This is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I've not seen this yet. So
as far as blockbusters go, this boggles my mind that it could even exist. You'd think there's some sort of like quality standard when you're making a blockbuster to make it at least safe.
Hey, don't you need like some sort of education to write movies? Like, I'm pretty sure.
Well, just for an example, in case you haven't seen Assassin's Creed yet, or if you're familiar with the game series, there's a part where Michael Fassbender jumps off a building, and some lady's like, "A leap of faith."
God damn! Really? It's that unsubtle?
Yeah, it's the least subtle movie ever made. Oh, it's perfect. What do you got?
My number 7. It's the latest from actually a director I like a lot. So I was really disappointed this movie wasn't good. This is the latest film from Jared Hess. This movie is called Masterminds.
I haven't seen that yet, but apparently they almost reshot half of it, so that's probably why.
It has 6 butthole jokes in the first like 15 minutes. It's crazy how many times he's like, "Oh man, and fucking Zach Galifianakis is doing goddamn Larry the Cable Guy the whole movie. He's like, "Get that out of my butthole. Woohoo! Just pull it on out. Hope I don't fart." Like, it's fucking bad. And the worst thing is it is
based way on up there, Morty.
Yeah, it's stick it way on up there, Morty. It's like the complete fucking. It's like. It's based on a true story, and like the story is interesting. That's the problem, is that the story is interesting and the movie is fucking bad.
Well, like we've said many times, some stories aren't worth telling. Some are, but you gotta tell them good.
Yeah. And in this this is the first movie Jared Hess ever directed that he didn't also write. So I think he probably looks back at that and is like, I should have wrote that.
My number 7, we did talk about it on the show. I barely remember anything about it, but it's another big blockbuster I wanted to put on here. This is Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh, dude, Jufi.
Jufi. My favorite part about it, and we talked about this on the episode, but when they're in their meeting on how to destroy the ship, they're like, "Why don't we just do what we did last time?" And I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that because I've already seen that movie.
Yeah, that movie fucking already
They
exists.
literally say the words, "This worked last time, so let's do it again." No, that's not how you make movies.
Hey, that's a 22 Jump Street joke, and you just fucked it up because you're not making any jokes. You're just literally doing that. My number 6 was a movie we talked about. This is what I like to call it white privilege, the movie. This is called Me Before You. Do you remember this?
I do. I remember it well. I try to forget about it, but it just will not leave me because people keep telling me it's good, and I can't.
How the fuck do people think this is good? How do people think that Me Before You is good?
I can't for the life of me wrap my mind around how this is relatable or well written or interesting.
Dude kills himself because he can't wakeboard anymore.
In fact, I mean, I've been told that my reaction to how depression was treated in this film is actually quite offensive, as I called him a pussy. But here's the thing.
I get depressed when you own a castle.
Okay, but I get depression. I it's completely serious. I've suffered from it. A lot of people suffer from it. I think it's probably depicted more offensively here than me calling him a pussy for killing himself to a ex-Renegade song.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Me Before You, it's unbelievably shitty and very fucking bad. Very fucking bad. What is your number 6?
Oh, man. You know how much I love Samuel L. Jackson.
I do.
Yeah, you're familiar with Stephen King, right?
I'm
familiar with Stephen King.
Vaguely, yeah, I'm aware.
He read a terrible book called Cell, and they made a terrible movie out of it with John Cusack. And,
yeah, I never saw that.
It might be. It's got some terrible CGI airplanes in it, and it just makes no sense. And it's fucking. It's awful.
Are the airplanes shiny?
Yeah, they're shiny as fuck.
Oh shit! Fucking check it out. It's on Netflix.
And there's like flying zombies and shit. None of it makes any sense. It's barely even a movie. I can't believe anyone agreed to make it.
We've been screaming about shitty movies all year, screaming about how shitty this is. But this is what it boils down to, Buck. This is the bottom 5 worst films of 2016.
What is interesting, I have heard a lot of people say that they saw a lot of great movies this year.
Which one?
Maybe, but obviously you watched maybe 10 movies this year because anything that wasn't our top 10 sellers at the blockbusters, even which half of were unwatchable, Batman versus Superman. I think I don't know where these good movies are coming from that everyone is talking about because I've not seen very many of them this year, and I have been to several film festivals where the best movies of the year have played, and they were only okay. So
it's like people are like, I've seen so many good movies this year, and it's like, oh, so you've only seen Jungle Book, Zootopia, Popstar, and War Dogs. Great. Fuck it.
I've seen Manchester by the Sea. It's good.
I've not seen that yet. I've heard it's good.
It's not even as good as the top 5 last year. So,
all right. So here we go. My number 5 worst movie of the year. We didn't talk about it on the show, and I'm glad because I would never make you watch this. It's called How to Be Single. That's the name of the movie. That's the name of the movie. How to Be Single with Dakota Johnson and Rebel Wilson, and it's Rebel Wilson shtick. Okay, you know the shtick. It's that like filled in with incomplete scenes that like every scene ends and you're like, wait, there's not more to that scene. I feel like there's supposed to be more. Like every scene feels like a deleted scene.
Did you watch The Neighbors too?
I did see The Neighbors too. Had my boy in it. What's his name?
Zac Efron.
No, my other boy from he's in DuckTales now. What? No, the other guy.
Oh,
Kyle Mooney's friend.
Beck Bennett.
Beck Bennett's in fucking Neighbors too.
The thing about that movie is it's just like all setups to get Seth Rogen and Zac Efron in silly situations. It's not really a film. Those are the kind of like comedies that were made this year. They're just situational. They're just like situational silliness. They're not actually some funny jokes, but like not movie.
Yeah,
Hey,
Dakota Johnson's in that one as well. I think. I'm pretty sure.
movie.
Yeah, I think Dakota Johnson's the bitch in that one.
My number 5. Talked about a
Worst
little
film of the
earlier.
year.
Me Before You.
Me Before You. I'm glad that I figured that like a lot of our top 5 is gonna be the same, except for one film on my top 5, which I know you haven't seen, and I pray to God you never see. But I figured that like it's gonna be typically the same. I knew Me Before You was gonna be up there because that movie is fucking preposterous.
What's your number 4?
My number 4. I hope this is also somewhere on your top 5. I'm trying to bribe Kevin Smith to stop making movies because Yoga Hosers is one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen.
It's official. The number 4 worst movie of the year is Yoga Hosers.
It's Yoga Hosers, baby. This movie is so bad. I can't. So basically, what this movie was about is that Bratzies. Yeah, that's really all we got to say. It was fucking Nazis that went into the fucking Nazi souls went into hot dogs. That's the movie.
I watched the Kevin Smith interview with Joe Rogan recently, and he was talking about this movie. He's like, yeah, basically, I wanted to make Strange Brew, but for teenage girls. And I don't know if I succeeded, but maybe one day. And he's like, he was talking about how when he screened this, some guy at the Q&A asked for his money back, and he literally just gave him $20.
That's amazing. That's amazing. My number 3, look, I hate Kevin Smith a lot, but there is one director that I hate more. My number 3 is a movie that I hope you have never seen, and I hope nobody else ever sees. It's the newest work from good old Tim Burton.
I would never watch that.
This is called Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and it's just shitty actors pretending to be X-Men, and it's really terrible. Like really, really terrible. To a point that like I can't even believe like Eva Green, who's kind of washed up. I can't even believe she looked at the script and was like, yeah, all right. You know, like it is absolutely preposterous. I've had people tell me the books are better. I'm sure it's teen pandering bullshit, but I also guarantee the books are better because this movie is so fucking bad.
Well, here's the thing about these books for teenagers, Shadley. We don't care. So
we don't give a shit.
I'll move on to my number 3. Seth Rogen's making it on here with Sausage Party.
Oh shit, so
fucking
close.
Hate Sausage Party.
Yo, this is my number 2, and people love this film. I posted my top 10 worst films of the year, and this is my number 2. And somebody was like, Sausage Party is the most fun I've had at a cinema in years. And I'm like, then you don't go to the movies. If that's the most fun, you don't go to the movies. That did you not see Furious 7? Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, absolutely.
Fuck you. Sausage Party is just, it's not even acceptable. Like at this point, I wouldn't even say this is acceptable. I think that it's poisonous and destructive that we're looking at this movie in such a positive light. And honestly, this movie didn't make it onto my bottom 10, but I would think I would throw Captain America Civil War into the same shit. It is destructive that this absolute swill is getting positive reception. It's fucking bullshit, because now you know what that means is that people are like, why was 2016 so bad in movies? Because we keep giving bad movies good reviews. Ant-Man, get the fuck out of here. That's why
I love Ant-Man though.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Nah, I'm not actually correct on that one.
I just like the reason movies are shitty right now is because we keep letting them be shitty, and Sausage Party is the pinnacle example. I am buffaloed that anybody can take a look at this.
Ant-Man's way better than Civil War. Get the fuck out of here.
I agree. Ant-Man is
Ant-Man's better than Ultron. Get the fuck out of here, Chadley, and your 5-star Ultron.
After some time, I do redact my 5-star review on Age of Ultron, bump it down to a 2.5, but it's still better than Ant-Man.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you completely. Is that a dog? My number 2. God's Not Dead Part 2. Basically not even, again, not a movie. A lot of these movies in my bottom 10, they are there because they are not movies, and that's not how you construct a film. So
and thank
I don't know.
God,
maybe I hold movies to a higher standard than some people, but I think they should be constructed like a film, whether or not it's classical or abstract. It needs to be a film.
Yeah, it needs to be a movie. God's Not Dead is not a film. This is more like something that you would watch at a seminar. Like this should be playing at like fucking youth conference or something. This shouldn't be in theaters for people to pay money for. This should be free. This shit should be free. You should be playing this in churches. This is like something you play for fucking Sunday school kids. This is not a film that you release for the fucking $20 million budget with Sabrina the goddamn Teenage Witch. All right? Movies made me real mad this year.
What's your number one, Chadley, in this year of terrible films?
There was a lot of really bad movies this year. Just so fucking many. But absolutely, unequivocally, no movie can possibly stand up to the absolute garbage pile that is the worst blockbuster film in history. Batman versus Superman. Dawn of Justice.
Absolutely valid. We've screamed about it before. The worst, one of the worst things I've ever seen on film. $300 million budget.
And more, no, it was way more than that. It was like, it ended up being like 560 million or something like that after advertising. That's too much money.
That doesn't count. That's fake money. That's Hollywood accounting.
Yeah, they made that money.
My number one. You know, I'm not a big parody man, but sometimes they're just too terrible for me to even understand or comprehend. Mine's going to be 50 Shades of Black, Chadley, which you made me watch on this fucking podcast, and I will never forgive you.
I can't believe Batman v Superman didn't even make it onto your bottom 10.
Dude, there was worse movies than that this year, and it's unwatchable.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Black is sure fucking bad. I actually had this one on my list initially, but I took it off to put on God's Not Dead too.
I certainly
Shades of Black is very fucking bad, and
I think there's a lot of very bad movies that are just mediocre. So why don't we give some runners up, Chadley?
There's so many movies. Ghostbusters was initially on this list.
Sure.
Independence Day Resurgence was on this list at one point.
Pretty much everything that Netflix made.
Yeah, Suicide Squad, Special Correspondence. There was a lot of really shitty movies this year. Civil War, I can't believe anybody likes that. Other than the airport scene, because I'll admit that's pretty good. The
Gods
rest
of Egypt. I don't know if I saw that.
Gods of Egypt. Yep, absolutely. What else did we even? I'm just trying to think what else we fucking watched this year. Because
how about Sully?
I never saw Sully. I've heard it's good though. Like I have heard it's good.
Not good though. It is not. It is Clint Eastwood basically showing off some 9/11 imagery and hoping you get sad about it.
Great. That's exactly what I need to see. What else? What else came out this year? Huntsman, The Winter War. I don't know. There was so much bad shit this year. Warcraft.
I hated Swiss Army Man. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I have not seen.
I think it fucking blows, even though a lot of people think it's the best movie of the year.
X-Men Apocalypse, Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens.
How about Zoolander 2?
I wouldn't watch that. Come on. I'm better than that. The Killing Joke. A lot of, I don't know. I'm taking a look. Oh, Jason Bourne. I know you liked it, but
I adore Jason Bourne.
I don't.
Bottom 50. What are you talking about?
Holy shit! I can't believe I forgot about this movie, and this should have been on my list, and I feel ashamed that it's not now. Remember XOXO? Oh, that movie was putrid. Oh, that movie was fucking putrid. I forgot about that one, and I apologize. The Shallows was no good.
So cheers to 2016, and let's hope 2017 gives us some actual films. I mean,
Pete's Dragon was also really fucking bad. We never talked about it, but it's real fucking
I'll
bad.
never watch that. You already made me watch the BFG. Just give me a break, Chadley. I would put the BFG in the bottom 30 probably. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen from Steven Spielberg at least. And Chadley thinks it's great. Okay, fart jokes are funny.
I kind of love the BFG.
Chadley doesn't like Sausage Party, but loves the fart jokes in BFG. So. Says a lot about you as a person.
I love the BFG, less the fart jokes. Is that acceptable? Am I allowed to say that?
No, Chadley, for someone who is knows enough about filmmaking and competent writing, you sure like a lot of shitty movies. So, and you hate good ones like Star Wars Rogue One. So I
I
don't
didn't
know.
hate Star Wars Rogue One. I just think it's meh. I think it's all right.
You told me after you saw it that you wanted to kill Gareth Edwards. I think that's a bit of an overreaction, Chad.
Did I say that? That sounds like something. Well, I just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm still mad about Godzilla, but
Godzilla's no good. We can all agree on that.
and you know what? I've heard people be like, "Oh yeah, but like if you don't like Gareth Edwards, like because of Godzilla, check out Monsters." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen that. That's also bad.
It's not bad, but it's
not good.
the same thing as Godzilla. Same thing.
Same shit, different day." Holy shit! I feel like I can breathe now. I feel like 2016 is over, Buck, and I think movies are gonna be better this year. I really do. We got Fate of the Furious coming up.
Oh, baby! Can't wait for that.
Amazing.
We did say all year though that it was going to be bad. We were prepared for it. Oscar season hasn't really been producing anything noteworthy.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a rough Oscar season this year.
Yeah.
I feel.
I mean, Manchester by the Sea is good. American Honey is good. There are good movies that we haven't talked about yet. Arrival is very good.
I've heard good things about Fences.
Fences is probably fine.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sing Street yet?
No. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen yet.
Great movie. The Handmaiden is incredible.
Handmaiden.
There are good movies, but they're few and far between.
I just think like I don't know. In a year when a parody mockumentary about a pop star is one of the best films of all time or best films of the year, you might want to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, when you got Miles Teller and fucking Jonah Hill in the funniest movie of the year.
Back to the drawing board.
I think we should probably figure some shit out.
Definitely back to the drawing board.
Do you want to talk about some zombies real quick? I don't want to spend too much time on this.
Yeah, me neither. This is Return of the Living Dead Part 2. This is the same movie.
But what they did was they took out all the things I liked about the first one, like the curse words and the titties and the jokes, and they replaced it with a screaming kid. And
hey, is this
yourself.
The Goonies?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Return of the Living Dead Part 2. We don't care because it's literally the same thing, but with children. No, don't do that.
Here's the most preposterous part about this movie is that it is literally the same movie. So much so. Do you remember the character Frank from the first movie, who at the beginning of the movie is like a wisecracker who's like, let's just take a look at the zombies, and then he gets bit, and then he slowly turns into a zombie?
Same bit, right?
They did the same bit with a character named Ed, who is played by the same guy. It's the same guy. I was like watching the movie, and I was looking at that character Ed. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. Is that the same fucking guy doing the same fucking thing? Like, it's almost like they copied his lines word for word and just pasted them into this movie. It's the same guy.
I do agree. This one is a disappointment, considering Return of the Living Dead is one of my favorite movies ever. It's a perfect horror comedy, and well, guess what they did with this one? Took out most of the comedy.
Yeah, it took out
barely any jokes in this. It's just a straight, like, why are we doing a straight up zombie movie? Why are you doing that? That's not what you're.
My problem with this is that, like, the zombies look worse.
Well,
they look worse than they did in the first movie.
Obviously.
Yeah. But they look worse than they did in the first movie. And I mean, I get it's a budget thing, but like, shouldn't you know how to do this at this point? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but like, it just looks worse. Turn this shit into the Goonies for some reason. They're like, the Goonies did well, and it's like, well, not if they had zombies in it.
We just add a bunch of kids to it. Why are we doing like fucking Thunderdome? Why are we doing this? Why do we need a bunch of kids in this?
Oh, to be fair though, Thunderdome's a masterpiece.
Well, the second half is nearly unwatchable, but I do think it's a great film.
I love Beyond the Thunderdome, but like, No, I do get what you mean. There's no reason to put kids into this movie. The only reason it's there is to give us a likable protagonist because everybody else kind of sucks.
Mhm. Yeah.
You got the two dudes that keep trying to fuck people, and then you got the two girls who are like continuously trying to fuck the dudes.
Uh-huh.
And one of the dudes turns into a zombie. And like there's one scene in this that's just fucking preposterous where the boyfriend has turned into a zombie and he's chasing down the girl and he's like, "Come on, Linda, just let me eat your brains." And she's like, "Yeah, all right." And then she does.
It's kind of a good scene.
I don't know, dude. I think it's fucking preposterous. Why would she run away in the first place into the horde of zombies if she was just gonna let him eat her brain? It's like, what do you have to gain from that? What is she gaining? I don't know. There's just like a lot of writing shit in this movie that's just like fucking stupid. The doctor character, holy fuck, could we just do a rewrite on every line that he has? Because they're all they're terrible. Like when they first enter the hospital and they're like, "Oh no, there's not a doctor here," and he's like, "Yes, there is," and it's like, really? On the way to the hospital, you don't think you would mention that you're a doctor, you piece of shit? They were driving to the hospital.
I don't like this movie. I don't think it's good, which is unfortunate because the first one's amazing, and I mean that shouldn't stop you from watching the first one, which we like a lot here, and maybe I think the main problem with this one is after I watched it, I thought to myself, looking at the screen, looking at the scroll, the end title credits with the music, and this also the music's way worse in this one.
I didn't really know.
As it was scrolling up and they're electrocute, like, you know, because they electrocute at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself, we don't care. And I think if your movie elicits the reaction, we don't care. Don't
you need a rewrite.
Don't make that.
Here's the thing: it's like as the credits started rolling, this is literally the two words that came into my mind. The credits started rolling, and I just went, "Oh yeah, that's it." All right. Oh yeah. Cool. Great. Good job. Well done, I guess. Whatever. Oh yeah.
So that's about all I have to say about Return of the Living Dead Part 2. We'll be talking about Return of the Living Dead Part 3 next week. It is very different. So
I wouldn't say this movie is like unwatchably shitty.
No,
it's just like it's such
not.
a letdown.
Yeah. I mean, it is a zombie movie, and it plays it as a zombie movie, which okay. There's a lot of those, but
yeah, I feel like this movie's been done. In fact, I think it's just the first movie without jokes.
Could be. Yeah.
There's also like, I don't know, in the first movie there was like 20 minutes of like introduction, which in this one they're like, don't need that. And so they just cut right to the chase, and suddenly there's just like this kid with braces who's like, "You want to join my club?" And I'm like, you gotta ease me into this. You can't just throw a kid with braces saying, "Do you want to join my club?" You can't just fucking throw me into this. All right. Yeah. This movie's really. I wouldn't say it's really bad. It's just like it's definitely better than like some of the other ones. Like it's definitely better than like Diary of the Dead or Survival of the Dead. But it's just like, I don't know.
It's bland.
Yeah, it's very bland. If I'm being totally honest, I didn't really pay attention to this movie. I was bored. I was flipping through my phone. I was trying to come up with my death pool and trying to perfect my bottom 10 of the year. Like, this was just really fucking bad.
All right, well, let's move on then.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
To another movie. This is called The Magnificent Seven.
Guess what? Another mediocre film.
Yeah, it's fine. I think that comes with the territory of a classical Western, though.
Yeah, I agree. But like, here's the problem with Magnificent Seven. Obviously, Anton Fuqua, good friend of the show, but he had a perfect streak going, and I think this sort of killed his streak. Equalizer, fucking 5-star film. Southpaw, fucking 5-star film.
Certainly worse. It's worse than those two, but it's also a lot better than the rest of his catalog. So I don't.
What else did he do? Like, those are the only ones I'm really familiar with. He did like, didn't he do? No, that was David Ayer that did SWAT.
Don't talk about David Ayer on this show.
Oh yeah, did we even mention Suicide Squad earlier when we did the fucking honorable mentions? Because that movie's also real fucking bad.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's a really fucking bad year.
Olympus Has Fallen, Shooter. Training Day is pretty good actually, but
Training Day is good. I love Olympus Has Fallen as well.
Well, you're incorrect, but that's.
I'd be incorrect in saying that. You know what? That's all right. If I'm incorrect in saying that, then I can take that. I think I can. I think I can live with that.
He does. I think Antoine Fuqua makes some great films.
Yeah, and they all look great.
Yes, they're all very specific looking.
Yeah, and this one definitely looks great. Here's the problem:
there has been like a weird resurgence in westerns recently, but the thing about you can't just do a class like this is a classical western, and I don't think that has a place so much anymore, which is why they faded out. There's 1,000 of movies exactly like this, which is based on Magnificent Seven, which is based on Seven Samurai. So,
Yeah. Here's the weird thing about this, though, is that this is the third time in 9 months we've got a movie with this kind of title. We got The Hateful Eight, Magnificent Seven, you got Ridiculous Six. Do you think they all tie together? Which one's the sequel?
Yeah,
I guess they go up in quality as the number increases. Because Ridiculous Six is one of them.
To be fair, Ridiculous Six and Hateful Eight are both plays on Magnificent Seven. So
okay, yeah, fair. You know what? Yep. You know what? Fair enough. So I think basically when they did this, they were like, all right, so we got Magnificent Seven. We got that property. So we need to write 7 characters. And it's like, all right, that's cool. It's like base them on the originals. That's fine. That's great. But here's what we are not going to do, because we have 7 characters and we want to top this bitch off in 100 minutes. Not going to write these characters.
Yeah.
And that is what they did. I heard somebody say the other day that this is the best performance Chris Pratt has ever given. And I disagree, because I don't even know if there's a performance here.
Oh, I thought he was quite good compared to what he's way better in this than he is in Jurassic World.
Do you really think that he was that good in this movie? Because I think he was better in this than he was in Jurassic World. Chadley, are you listening to me? I think in this movie he was adequate. It was Chris Pratt talking like this, and anybody can do this. It's like fucking anybody can do that voice for an hour and 40 minutes and be like, all right, there we go. That's my performance. It's like, I'm nothing but a bad boy Westerner. I'm nothing but a gambling man. I always got a card up my sleeve. And it's like, all right, that's not a fucking performance. That's a caricature. And that's what it was.
For some reason, you've got this idea that Chris Pratt is good, though. And I don't understand where that comes from. Probably
Parks and Rec. Because he is good in Parks and Rec. He is. Maybe not great.
He's an adequate performer and then somehow got strong enough and loved Jesus enough to get into big budget pictures. He's not good though.
All right. Yeah, I'll give you that. He really isn't like, as far as acting goes, he's nothing spectacular. I think he has good comedic timing, but too bad there's no jokes in this one.
I'd say I'd laughed at what the things he had said.
Yeah. More
so than the rest of the characters in this film.
Nothing memorable though, Nothing memorable.
I don't know why you're being so negative today, Chadley. This is completely why are you doing this?
Everybody thinks I'm like this totally negative person, and I'm just saying, like, I just wish movies were better right now, and they're not. That's all I'm saying. And this movie is bread and butter. It's just cut and paste, peanut butter and jelly. Like, I want something that's going to change my mind about movies. And this, like, because I'm getting off board. I'm getting off board for all movies, dude. I'm getting off board. That being said, there is some good performances in this movie. Fucking DW, of course. Vincent D'Onofrio is
he's great.
Fucking so good.
Dude, Denzel Washington is like maybe the greatest man to ever walk the face of the earth. Well, how is he that good?
I don't know, dude. Denzel Washington is so fucking good.
I want to hang out with Denzel Washington so much. He's like, every time I see him, I'm like, man, he's the most likable motherfucker on the planet.
And like the thing is too, is he's quite diverse as well, because Denzel Washington's amazing in this. Like he straight up is the problem with this movie, though, is that it totes a ensemble cast and then focuses on Denzel Washington's character. And it's a movie about Denzel Washington, essentially. So that's fine, but why would you tote so heavily on an ensemble cast, especially if you're not going to use most of them? The Asian fellow in this movie, they didn't really use him that much. He was just kind of in it so that they could say there were 7 of them, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
I think that is a problem with the whole idea of the Magnificent Seven. That's a lot of characters. The reason Seven Samurai is good, Chadley, is because
it's 4.5 hours.
It's 4.5 hours long. you can work all of those characters into something that matters.
Yeah, it's fucking 4.5 hours, and that's why that shit works. Magnificent Seven, I just don't think that it does work. And sorry. If I'm being honest, there were times when there was like 6 of them, and then there was times when there was like 8 of them, and I'm like, wait, who are the Magnificent Seven? Because I think it was pretty clear that it was like Ethan Hawke, who, by the way, is fucking bad.
Ethan Hawke,
Denzel Washington.
We've always
Chris
said that.
Pratt.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke's no good. Vincent D'Onofrio, the Asian fellow,
Mexican guy.
Skinny guy, but then there was also the Haley Bennett character, that's 8.
Well, what about the Indian?
Oh yeah, no, the Indian was Vincent D'Onofrio, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. God, this movie's forgettable. The Indian was Manuel Garcia Rolfo, according to the Internet Movie Database, or unless it was Red Harvest. Was that his name? I don't know, dude. There was.
They didn't give enough time to them. So, I mean, no, there's the Mexican, and then there was the Indian character.
Yeah, and then there was the Mexican, the Indian character, the Asian fellow, Vincent D'Onofrio, Chris Pratt.
Diversity 7, baby.
Diversity 7. Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke. But then there's Haley Bennett as well. And
no, she's not part of it.
No, Haley Bennett was totally part of it. She was more part of it than fucking Ethan Hawke was.
I don't think so. I don't think she was part of it because
before,
at the end,
before the final fight, Ethan Hawke just fucked off and was like,
"Well, I watched this like 4 minutes ago. So there's the 4 that died, plus the 3 that rode away. So that's the Magnificent 7.
And you don't think Haley Bennett counts?
I do not think so. I don't think she's part of the Magnificent. I think she's the orchestrator.
If Haley Bennett doesn't count, then sure, there's 7. But there's not 7 interesting characters.
Okay, I would agree with that.
maybe 3. Maybe 3. And that's if you're counting Chris Pratt, and I'm stretching it.
Yeah, I wouldn't count. I think the Asian guy is more interesting than Chris Pratt.
I don't think I could tell you a single thing about that Asian fellow. I remember him being in it, and he jumps around a lot.
To be fair, you watched this. It's what seems like 9 months ago because you remember 0 details about it.
It was, yeah. I did see this movie about 3 weeks ago. So you're a little bit fresher off the cut because I just finished watching Return of the Living Dead Part 2. So I was a little fresher on that one. That being said, watching is a delicate word. In this instance.
All right, I think there's as far as classical westerns go, I think it's perfectly adequate.
It's perfectly adequate. But I was hoping for it. Had Anton Fuqua attached to it. Had a great cast, and I was excited to see.
I'm not sure what more you were expecting though, because this is to me exactly what I would expect from a Magnificent 7 film. As someone who's seen many westerns and enjoys the genre, to me this is a perfect not only an ode to the genre, but an addition to the genre.
You think like it's a
I think it's good or better than a lot of Western. Yes.
Okay, but like
it's not Hateful Eight, which is, but the reason Hateful Eight is good is because Quentin Tarantino not only respects a lot of different genres, but is original. So
yeah, and that's maybe that's my problem with this movie, is that it's unfortunately just not very original. It's a Western movie. You got the 7 people, and they're fucking on their way to a town for a showdown.
Not only is it a classical Western, but it is the most classical Western, as it is a remake of probably one of the most famous
Western films.
Story arc, not even just Western films, but story arc. This is a story arc that is used many times over, and is the cornerstone of most Western films. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with updating that.
Yeah. All right. I mean, fair is fair, right? It is a remake, and it is a remake of when that kind of story arc was original. But as far as a 2016 film goes, I just don't think it stands up as a 2016 film. It's outdated, I guess you could say. It's an outdated story arc, and they decided to use it anyways. And I don't know. I guess that's where my problem lies.
All right. Well, rest in peace, Chris Pratt. I can't wait till you see Passengers. We're gonna have a lot of good times talking about that.
Woo! That's gonna be fun. Shit, no, it's not.
Michael Sheen.
So yeah,
Michael Sheen's in it though.
Oh, dude, I love Michael Sheen. He's the robot, right? He's the robot man.
Yeah, you're gonna love the first 40 minutes of Passengers, because that is the part that I love.
And then it gets bad.
And then it gets a shoehorned romance plot with Jennifer Lawrence trying to act, and
ooh, does Jennifer Lawrence fuck Chris Pratt? Does she fuck Chris Pratt?
Oh, not only does she fuck Chris Pratt, but there's 2 back-to-back fuck scenes, which I've never seen in a film. Like, there's a fuck scene, and then it goes to the next day where there's immediately a second fuck scene. I was like, is there supposed to be something in between here? No, they're just fucking. It's amazing.
I guess if you're fucking on a space station by yourself, ain't nothing else to do, you know? You just gotta fuck each other a whole bunch. Isn't like one of them married though? Like, isn't Chris Pratt's character married or?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Nope. Okay. Well, as long as they're fucking, and as long as they're both good looking. All right. I think that's what
the conflict. Well, the conflict is Chris Pratt wakes her up, right? That's the conflict.
What a piece of shit.
Because yeah. That's why it's like hard to like any of the characters except for Michael Sheen the robot.
Michael Sheen the robot. Dude, I fucking want a Michael Sheen robot in my house. Serving me drinks and shit.
Then baby boy Larry Fishburne shows up for a bit, and you're like, why are you here all of a sudden? And it's like, don't worry about it.
Dude, I hate Larry Fishburne. Can't wait.
Anyway, what else? Are we almost done here for today?
Yeah, I think that's about it. We're welcoming 2017 with open arms, hoping to God that we get some good movies. A lot of movies with The Rock this year. You got
You're The Rock, baby.
Yeah, we got Baywatch with The Rock. We got
Baywatch is going to be good.
We got fucking Jumanji with The Rock. It's going to be a good Rock year. Is Rampage with The Rock coming out this year?
I don't know.
Flavor Dialogue, add The Rock. That's how you make a video game film.
Yeah.
Flavor Dialogue.
We've said it many times. So go subscribe to the new feed on iTunes or whatever you listen to. It should be on Stitcher soon. Or go to movieepidemic.podbean.com, and that's every episode.
Yeah, and then we'll figure out what we're watching next week, immediately following this podcast, and you can listen to that next week. Although Absolutely. I think it's unanimous. I think we're watching Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's probably Assassin's Creed.
Probably gonna watch Assassin's Creed.
That's the show. Thanks, guys.